Netflix's Star Trek show paid off a cool prediction from Voyager's finale. Star Trek Prodigy is far more than just a spiritual successor to Star Trek Voyager, as the animated show serves as a relatively soft sequel to the 1990s spin-off, and the former is full of details that impressively pay homage to the latter. As well as several Star Trek Voyager characters returning in Star Trek Prodigy, there are other more subtle nods to the adventures of Captain Janeway, Kate Mulgrew, and her crew aboard the USS Voyager, one of which is a direct canonical reference to Star Trek Voyager's finale. Mulgrew played her ship's fearless leader throughout all 7 seasons of Star Trek Voyager. Janeway's crew's long and dangerous journey home was filled with strange goings-on that ticked almost every box in the sci-fi TV category. The Star Trek Voyager cast was rarely exposed to time travel, although they did have a handful of time-bending storylines. Star Trek Voyager's Endgame brought the show to its conclusion with just such an adventure, and Star Trek Prodigy quietly acknowledges one of Voyager finale's smallest predictions about Starfleet's future. Starfleet uniforms and combadges are often era-dependent in Star Trek, although they can and do also differ between ships. The Starfleet uniforms in Star Trek Prodigy are, understandably, a unique design. However, the officer's combadge design in the show first appeared on-screen in 2001. When an alternate version of Admiral Janeway travels back from the future to change history in Endgame, her combadge design differs from that of her temporal counterpart and the rest of the Voyager crew. Brilliantly, Star Trek Prodigy has brought back the design, establishing future Janeway's combadge as the standard in the years that followed Endgame. Star Trek Prodigy's Janeway wearing the same badge as her future self from Endgame is an excellent piece of fan service. The show could easily have ignored Star Trek Voyager's prediction and come up with its own design for the Starfleet combadges. Alternatively, Star Trek Prodigy could simply have kept a more recognizable design in play, as the show only takes place 5 years after Endgame, and combadges aren't always updated quite so often. Future Janeway was also much older than Mulgrew's character in Prodigy, so the franchise still had a while until it had to acknowledge the badge change. The combadges in Star Trek Prodigy are a little bit of a head-scratcher. In the original timeline that future Janeway travels back from, the badges will have organically been redesigned over time, with no intervention or influence from other points in the Star Trek timeline. That perhaps isn't the case now, thanks to future Janeway's intervention. After her temporal manipulation, the first time the combadge design shows up from a chronological standpoint is in Endgame rather than in future Janeway's native time. So, Prodigy's combadges could be said to have been inspired by a design that never actually existed. It's possible future Janeway's combadge design was rolled out across Starfleet in tribute to her. While this would mean quietly celebrating the Temporal Prime Directive, present-day Janeway would likely have enough pull to convince Starfleet to do so. Alternatively, one theory could avoid the paradox altogether. The new combadge design may have already been prepared and was about to be put into active use in Endgame. Because Star Trek Prodigy is set so soon after Star Trek Voyager's finale, the changeover between badges may have been almost immediate, which would explain why future Janeway had the same one. Netflix's Star Trek show in many ways has paid homage to its rich legacy of past series, but perhaps one of the most exciting nods to the franchise's intricate lore has been its subtle yet impactful realization of a prediction made in Star Trek Voyager's finale. Endgame, the 2-part conclusion of Voyager in 2001, saw Captain Janeway and her crew finally return to Earth after 7 long years stranded in the Delta Quadrant. Amid the time travel, Borg encounters, and epic space battles, the finale hinted at the future of Starfleet's technology and exploration potential. The arrival of a new Star Trek series on Netflix has brought that prediction to life in a way that both honors Voyager's legacy and charts an exciting course for the future of the franchise. In Endgame, the most notable technological advancement was the integration of the transwarp drive, a faster-than-light propulsion system that allowed ships to travel vast distances almost instantaneously. In the episode, Admiral Janeway from the future used Borg transwarp technology to bring Voyager home decades earlier than would have been possible with conventional warp drive. The transwarp concept had long been teased throughout Star Trek, but Voyager presented it as a theoretical next step in the evolution of Starfleet's fleet capabilities. In many ways, it was a promise of things to come, a glimpse into the technological possibilities that Starfleet could harness in the years to follow. The new Netflix Star Trek series, while not directly named after the transwarp drive, has clearly taken inspiration from that tantalizing potential, as it explores a future where Starfleet ships regularly incorporate advanced propulsion systems far beyond the warp drives familiar to longtime fans. This evolution of Starfleet technology was foreshadowed in Voyager's finale, and has now been realized with futuristic ships capable of crossing interstellar distances at unprecedented speeds. The decision to move forward with this concept is more than just a cool narrative twist. It's a logical continuation of Star Trek's ongoing exploration of scientific frontiers and its ability to predict technological advancements. In the Netflix series, viewers are introduced to a new era of exploration where the galaxy is more accessible than ever before. Ships equipped with transwarp capabilities can traverse not only the Alpha and Beta quadrants, but even reach the previously unexplored regions of the Delta and Gamma quadrants, which were central to Voyager and Deep Space Nine, respectively. This opens up new possibilities for storytelling as the universe of Star Trek becomes even more expansive. The concept of transwarp drive also reflects the franchise's vision of progress, not just in terms of space travel, but also in the broader themes of unity, exploration, and the pursuit of knowledge. One of the most interesting ways that the Netflix Star Trek show honors Voyager's finale is through its depiction of how this technological leap has reshaped the Federation. In Voyager, the crew's return to Earth signaled hope for the future of the Federation, with the knowledge gained during their time in the Delta Quadrant serving as a foundation for new advancements. Now, in the Netflix series, we see that prediction come to fruition, as the Federation has entered a golden age of exploration and diplomacy. The Federation's reach is greater than ever before, and their interactions with distant species and civilizations have taken on new depth thanks to the advanced propulsion systems. Moreover, the integration of transwarp technology into the Netflix series is not merely a superficial addition, it plays a key role in the overarching narrative. Much like Voyager's struggle to get home served as the driving force behind that series, the transwarp drive in the new series serves as both a symbol of progress and a plot device that raises new challenges. For example, the ability to travel such vast distances so quickly also brings about the potential for greater conflict, as Starfleet must navigate the complexities of dealing with civilizations that might not be ready for such advanced contact. This tension is at the heart of Star Trek, the balance between exploration and the ethical responsibilities that come with it. Furthermore, the transwarp technology opens the door to more nuanced storytelling about time, distance, and the moral implications of pushing the boundaries of space travel. In Voyager, the concept of transwarp was tied closely to the Borg, who are known for their ruthlessness in assimilating species and technology. In the Netflix series, we see a Federation that has learned from its past encounters with the Borg, and the transwarp technology is portrayed as something that can be used for good, but only if handled responsibly. This adds a layer of complexity to the narrative, as Starfleet grapples with the consequences of wielding such powerful technology. In conclusion,